talk about some considerations for squatting during pregnancy, particularly goblet squats with a kettlebell, and then we'll talk about a couple of my favorite modifications. Squats are amazing to be doing all throughout your pregnancy to maintain overall strength, obviously in the lower body, but also in the core. So let's talk about that first. The first consideration is that a bump is already added load. So you may even feel later on, even with a body weight squat, that you're needing a little extra core and pelvic floor support, which we would get by a strategic exhale, using a shh exhale to recruit our deep core on the up portion of our squat. So let's just go over general squat mechanics. Heels outside the hips, toes slightly pointed out. This could be slightly different for everyone depending on your body. Also, my squat stance changes when I'm pregnant. I tend to go a little bit wider. It gives me a little bit more space in my hips and a little bit more space for bump. But what you want to do is find a stance that you can most comfortably get into a nice deep squat, butt below the knee joint while maintaining a neutral spine. So we don't want a ton of curvature either way in the spine. We want pelvis underneath, ribs in, so our pelvis and ribs stay stacked the entire time. Now on the way up from your squat, I want you to exhale like this, shh, making that sound throughout the entire standing up portion as if you're zipping up a jacket with your air. And that's gonna give you that 360 nice belly baby hug all around, and use a lot of nice deep core. So when we add a goblet hold to that with a kettlebell, tons more core and obviously load. The way you want to do that is grab the horns of the kettlebell and pull it off of your chest and elbows in. So your forearms are going to make the number 11, and you want to keep that bell off of the body as you descend into that squat. In other words, we don't want to let those elbows drop, and we don't want to keep our belt on our chest. That usually causes our chest to drop or butt to stick out, all sorts of things. So it's a nice counterbalance out front. Inhale down, push the floor away from you, shh, exhale up. Now, a couple of my favorite ways when squats are maybe not feeling great or getting tricky later on in pregnancy is number one, box or chair squats, and you could do these with or without weight. I actually like to take the corner of the box. You could sit to the straight part of it as well, but it allows me to have space to find my squat stance. Ideally, this would be 90-degree knee bend or lower. For me, this is a little bit higher, so it's a little bit high. But again, the higher, the better it's gonna feel. So if you're feeling like you're getting so big that that transition at the bottom of your squat from this part right here, transitioning from down to up is causing a lot of pelvic floor pressure or anything like that you can't control. I love box squats, takes a little bit of that pressure off. So again, with or without weight, same exact thing as we did without a box, bell off the chest, elbow in, inhale down, exhale up. And we want to try to avoid sitting back and rocking into it. We want to sit back, keep that exact angle in our spine, and then shh, exhale through the standing portion. Now, my other favorite thing for squats, especially later on in pregnancy or if things are feeling a little challenging and funky with squats, are a suspension trainer. This is your best friend to assist you up from squats while still being able to get that delicious deep range of motion at the bottom. So set your suspension trainer up about hip height, and we're gonna come back so that there's tension on the suspension trainer at all times, and our thumbs are facing up. We want elbows by our side, okay? If they're not by your side, you're too far away from the anchor point. If your straps are loose or your elbows are behind, you are too close. So keeping tension on the suspension trainer. Same thing, we're gonna inhale back. We want arms straight, spine pretty tall. We don't want to let go here or let ourselves go into a C shape. So proud chest, and then exhale up, and you get that little extra assistance by pulling up, but you still get that nice deep range of motion. Hope this helped. Let me know what else you want to see in the comments. Live epic, be epic.